Hello.
Welcome.
Hello and great greetings.
Hey, everybody.
Hello. Howdy.
Hi. Hello.
Hi.
Hello there.
Hello. At Orlando Fringe, we believe in amplifying voices. Our goal is to ensure that we are creating and fostering
An inclusive, equitable, and collaborative environment.
One that promotes participation
And openly recruits diverse performances and stories.
providing opportunities
For underrepresented artists and communities.
By not only offering a platform
for inclusive shows, artwork, and experiences,
but by facilitating and creating opportunities
For coaching, mentorship, and scholarships.
and by offering any guidance.
That might help on their artistic journey.
Ultimately, our greatest ambition
Is that artists and patrons of any background
Will see themselves represented.
in the work showcase at the Orlando Fringe Festival,
as well as all of our year-round events.
and that we might serve as a model and inspiration
to other artists
And all arts organizations.
in our own community.
And around the world. Come check us out.
So join us.
Join us.
So join us.
Welcome to Orlando Fringe.
Welcome to Orlando Fringe. Welcome to Orlando Fringe.
welcome to Orlando Fringe.
Welcome to Orlando Fringe. You're all welcome.
Hello, everyone out there, and welcome to First Fringe Fridays. Well, actually, it's Second Fringe Fridays this month. I am your host. I am Salvation Mercy, and I'm coming to you all the way live from my guest bedroom. I want to take a moment and just say how honored I am to be with you all and hosting this Second Fringe Fridays this month. I am a non-binary trans person. I live in Orlando, Florida. I have participated in Fringe for many years. I have taken my clothes off in Fringe. I have done a plethora of things. Last year, I had the honor of drinking Mountain Dew live, well, kind of live for all of you. And I know I had a treat. I'm sure some of you may have had a treat. And I have received many complaints from Mountain Dew, as well as a cease and desist, so I won't be doing those anymore. We'd like to thank our sponsors tonight. Our First Fringe Fridays title sponsors are Creative Studio by NCLH, and our accessibility sponsor, 26 Health. I also want to thank Brian and Tempest for running the behind the scenes for us, and they have been doing an amazing job. They let me know earlier I sounded great. Hopefully I sound great to everyone out there. If not, just don't let me know. I never want to hear that. Thank you. As a disclaimer, this is a Fringe event, so anything can happen tonight, and be prepared for anything. I have seen some crazy Fringe shows. I have seen a gorilla in a rocking chair. A friend of mine placed a book under that, and we got screamed at. So I've learned never stop the gorilla from rocking. That's what I've learned from Fringe. It's kind of my takeaway for the year. We have a lot of special guests with us tonight. So many of them are wonderful artists, and I also have a great friend that is with us tonight, Nicole Parker. Nicole is an Orlando native of Black, Puerto Rican, and Italian descent. At the age of 19, she left her job and childhood home to begin her journey to live authentically. Nicole's passion is advocating for human rights, protections for all, and the importance of everyone having a seat at the table. Nicole is also the co-founder, director, and operations for Gender Advancement Project, GAP, and sits on the board of the Center Orlando. Please welcome Nicole Parker.
Thank you so much, Salvation. And hello, everyone. Once again, my name is Nicole Parker, pronoun she, her, and I'm so excited to be joining you all today. First and foremost, I just want to thank Fringe so much for putting on this amazing event. It's not often that we see our trans and non-binary family be uplifted, and that's all what tonight is about. I'm so excited to see some amazing performances and laugh and cry and be happy, because that's what we all need, especially in this day and age. So first and foremost, I want to say Happy Trans Awareness Week. This is our kickoff event. The Orlando Trans Collective is a local group of just friends, and we came together in 2017 to put on events for Trans Awareness Week. So for this year, I want to kind of give you an idea of what's going to go on. This is our kickoff event. We're so thankful to Orlando Fringe for being our kickoff. And during the week, typically, if it wasn't COVID, we would have different events for folks. We've had kickoff parties. We've had some protection classes where folks can learn self-defense. We've had trans talk where the community comes together as a whole just to kind of talk and share space. But this year, it's going to be a little different. So our big event is Transgiving. Transgiving is a free meal for anyone who identifies as trans and non-binary in their family. But due to COVID, we're not able to have that in person. So what we're going to do is provide anyone who wants a $25 gift card to Pom Poms. If you've never had Pom Poms, it is incredible. And so there will be a link going out. If you don't follow us on social media, please follow Orlando Trans Collective. That flyer and that information will be going out Monday. So please make sure that you sign up for your free gift card to Pom Poms. And then on Saturday, November 20th is Transgender Day of Remembrance. Transgender Day of Remembrance is the day that we come together as a community to honor those that we lost to anti-trans violence. Unfortunately, this year is the deadliest year on record with 46 known murders. So we really want to be able to come together to honor those individuals, because a lot of the times when people pass away, it's just kind of social media posts and people kind of get stuck where they were when they passed away. But we want to celebrate their humanity. We want to say their names. We want to make sure that we come together as a community to honor them. So if you are interested in any Transgender Day of Remembrance events, you can go on Facebook and type in Transgender Day of Remembrance, and all of the events will come up as long as they have a Facebook event. They will come up. Some are virtual, some are in person. Ours in Orlando will be in person at Joy MCC. So if you all are interested, it'll be at 1 to 2:30 on Saturday, but there's events happening all around the state. So I know that we do have a slide. We're going to put up that slide just to show really quick the names of those that we lost this year to anti-trans violence. I do want to say we are so lucky to live in Orlando. Orlando, I was born and raised, and it is such an inclusive space to be in. And we're lucky to have a city government and a mayor who acknowledges all communities and uplifts all communities. So this year and every year for Trans Awareness Week, we have the amazing, amazing opportunity to, the mayor is going to fly the trans flag over City Hall all week, which is rare. If you think about, we're living in Florida, folks. We know how it is here. And we are so lucky to have a mayor and a city who really affirms us. We also have this amazing proclamation from the city of Orlando, which makes Transgender Awareness Week official and officially a city event. So we are so, so thankful for that. And last but not least, the Lake Eola Fountain will be lit up in trans colors for Transgender Day of Remembrance. So once again, it is so amazing to be in such an affirming city, and we're so thankful to the city of Orlando for being a partner with us and seeing us and affirming us. So without further ado, I want to throw it back to Salvation, and we are going to kick off this amazing Fringe event. Thank you all so much.
Thank you so much, Nicole, for being here. Thank you so much for all those words, and just for sharing the importance of not only this event, but the weekend in general, and especially Transgender Day of Remembrance. So thank you so much for being here. Nicole will be back at the end for a Q&A along with the rest of some of our artists. And as you can see, I'm tearing up over here, or it's really, this air conditioning is not kicking in, and it is, mama is burning down. So if you see me melting and falling apart, that's all it is. That's all it is. It's just a little, this is live theater. Remember I said anything could happen. So to kick off this event, I want to welcome our first entertainer, our first artist. Their name is Contrafactor. Contrafactor, also known as Christy Folk, she and they pronouns, has been writing contrafacta, or parody songs, for about a decade. When not writing parodies, they enjoy consuming as much local musical theater as possible, advocating for climate action, and prancing around Give Kids the World as Cupid the non-binary reindeer. Give it up for Contrafactor.
You've learned to stay where it's safe. You hide away so they can't see. Though you pace and you chafe, you just want someone to hear your plea. If this sounds like your affair, no coming out 'cause you feel dismay. Well, I have something to share. Tell you what I have to say. Come out of the dark, 'cause you know it's your turn. Because you'll learn in the closet, always looking out. You will never know more than the fear and doubt. 'Cause you're trapped inside your past. It's cramped inside the closet, oh. I bet that you agree, so you should listen to this parody. You like to keep your disguise, because you think that you don't belong. But all those doubts are just lies. You're beautiful and the rest are wrong. Come out of the dark, 'cause the tables have turned. Come out of the dark, because you've learned, in the closet, always looking out. You will never know more than the fear and doubt, 'cause you're trapped inside your past, cramped inside the closet. And you're sitting in the closet and there's nobody about. Have you ever seen the light wanting to just come out? Are you wanting to come out? Are you wanting to come out? Maybe you're wanting to come out, so you really should come out. Oh, in the closet, always looking out. You will never know more than the fear and doubt, 'cause you're trapped inside your past, cramped inside the closet. You wanna speak to, tell them you are queer, but it never seems like a good time to premiere, while your watch is ticking fast, cramped inside the closet. I'll cheer when I hear it here. Have no fear, dear. If you are queer, make your premiere. You're all clear. Your frontier is near this year. If you are queer, make your premiere. Oh, I'll cheer when I hear it here. Have no fear, dear. If you're queer, make your premiere. You're all clear. Your frontier is near this year. If you are queer, make your premiere. 'Cause you know I'm queer too. Ha 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 ha. Do I look worried? Any idea about why? Maybe I'm hurried, 'cause I've realized we don't have much
much time to limit the greed, and at my own behest, not to speak for the rest, I would like to save the earth. We're changing the climate, heating the sky up. When old carbon burns, my stomach churns. How will we live? The death of a gas plant. Oh, letting the towers fall. Death of a gas plant. Oh, need to make way for living in the present. Ooh, I wouldn't ask for more. Life would be pleasant in the event of the death of a gas plant. Banking on sunshine, it is the reason we're alive. Some people are painfully rich, while we just want to survive. So you will hear from us, 'cause we're the last generation to make a change or bust, saving all creation. We're changing the climate, heating the sky up. When old carbon burns, my stomach churns. How will we live? The death of a gas plant. Oh, letting the towers fall. Death of a gas plant. Oh, need to make way for living in the present. Ooh, I wouldn't ask for more. Life would be pleasant in the event of the death of the gas plant. The death of a gas plant. Oh, letting the towers fall. Death of a gas plant. Oh, needs to make way for living in the present. Ooh, I wouldn't ask for more. Life would be pleasant in the event of the death of a gas plant.
Wow, that was so much fun. I was over here just bopping in my chair. That was not only so important, those messages, but also what great songs, Contra. That was amazing. I had so much fun. Wow. Again, at Fringe, you can see anything. And I'm so excited about all the content we are going to be seeing here tonight. I also want to give a special shout out, a special thank you to Kenneth Ramirez, who is doing our ASL interpreting tonight, so give it up for Kenny there. I also want to announce that Orlando Fringe applications are open. These things are open. Make sure you get your application in there. You can apply by going to www.orlandofringe.org/artists. If you are an artist, especially if you are a trans, non-binary artist, if you are a gender non-conforming artists, make sure you get your artwork into this festival. It is so important for us to be visible, but also get our material out there and get it consumed, especially after the past year, 2 years that we've all been having kind of locked in our homes. We will be having a lottery party on Friday, November 19th at 7:00 p.m. and it is live at the Orlando Shakes Courtyard. There we will select artists for the 2022 Orlando Fringe Festival. We'll have raffle music, raffle prizes. We'll have music. You could raffle off music, I'm sure. I don't know how any of that works. Again, as I said last year, I'm too pretty to be a scientist or really know how law works, in all honesty. DJ Xlu, I hope I'm saying that right. And if I'm not, fire me, I guess. There'll be music provided by that DJ. There's snacks and an open bar. So come and join all of the fun. If you aren't able to attend in person, there will also be a stream that will be live on the Facebook page where you all are watching tonight. I want to give it up for our next artist. Our next artist is Billie Jane Alberton. Billie Jane is an actor, playwright, and content creator from Central Florida by way of Missouri. She was recently lucky enough to be awarded the Critics' Choice Award for Best Original Script for her solo show Judas at Orlando Fringe. While writing and acting were her first loves, her biggest passion is being able to uplift and inspire LGBTQ+ youth around the world on TikTok. And that's at Billie Jane Official. And I'm sure we will have more of those handles for social media later. So be sure to follow her. She would like to give a big thank you to Lindsay and Lily for always being her cheerleaders. Give it up for Billie Jane Alberton.
My name is Billie, and I am a woman. My name is Billie, and I am a woman. My name is Billie, and I am a woman. My name is Billie, and I am a woman. My name is Billie, and I am a woman. I am a woman. I am a woman. What does that mean? What does it mean to me to be a woman? What does it mean to me, to you? Does it mean the same thing? Are there words? Sure, there's a definition, but what does it feel like? How much does it mean to be or not to be? That is the question. Shakespeare got it right. I just can't seem to get over this fight we're always having. Is it biology? Is it nature? Is it nurture? Is it a feeling? Does it matter? What does it mean to be a woman? How do we define woman? Can we define woman? I mean, sure, there's a definition, just call up Webster, but doesn't it mean something more than just words on paper? I think, I feel, I know, I believe. Do you believe in me that we can be woman and be fundamentally different and look fundamentally different, and our souls be different and our bodies be different, but we can still be connected by this thread, by this thing, by this word? Woman. When did it start? Where did it come from? Who began this word? Who was the first? Eve was created from the rib of Adam. And like Eve, I too was created from the body of a man. And like Eve, I went forth to the tree of knowledge, and I picked fruit after fruit, some rotten, some ripe, and I consumed, and I ate, and I gorged myself on their truths. I learned the truth about what makes me me. I learned the truth about who Billie is, and who BJ is, and who BJ was, and who Billie will be. And like Eve, I am strong, and I am curious, and I am ready to consume all the world has to offer for me. I am like Britney Spears and Ruth Bader Ginsburg and Marilyn Monroe and my mother, who was the first woman I ever knew. The first time I ever experienced what a woman was. I watched her and I idolized her and I put her on a pedestal and I said, that is a woman. So I've got the who and the what and even the how, but why now is the query I face. Why must we have this eternal debate? Woman or man? Is there no in between? Are we just meant to fight over this tiny little thing? I I can't seem to place it. I don't know why it exists. Do we only exist to show what a man isn't? I am not the opposite of man. I am something that is other. I don't have to be someone's sister, someone's mother. I am whole and complete. I am my own perfect entity, whether I have long hair or a tiny waist or round breasts or a pretty face, whether or not I was born that way, my existence is not up for debate. I am what I am, not defined by what I'm not. Weaker or lesser, I'm not ill or confused. I'm just a person who's trying. Exactly like you, I am a woman. I am. Which takes me back to how this started. I got a little off track. I got a little tender-hearted. How do we define it? What does it mean? What is the thing that makes a woman a queen? Honestly, I don't know. And I don't think I care. It's not something that keeps me up at night. It's not my own personal nightmare. It's just a question that needs to be answered by the others, but not by me. Because I am a woman. Every day, I am me.
Wow, Billie Jane, what a wonderful, wonderful piece. I was actually tearing up this time. That was so beautiful. Thank you so much for sharing your story with all of us. That was exactly, I think, what this second Fringe Friday really means. Just sharing stories from transgender and non-binary, gender non-conforming people, and really hearing their stories and listening and consuming their artwork, because it is so important to value and consume the artwork of trans, non-binary, and gender non-conforming folks, because as you've seen tonight, our work and the work that these artists have been displaying is just wonderful. I also want to let folks know that Winter Mini Fringe tickets are on sale for Club Fringe. See, like I said, anything can happen. Earrings can fall right off. Like I said, I'm just falling apart over here. If you are a member of Club Fringe, tickets are on sale for Winter Mini Fringe. That's what I said. Get those tickets for those Club Fringe folks. We have 20 in-person shows live in downtown Orlando from January 13th through the 16th of 2022. Artists will be performing at House on Church and the Depot, so returning down to Church Street. We will have kids' Fringe shows and activities, visual Fringe, and the outdoor stage. After the in-person festival, the fun will continue with the Winter Mini Digi Fringe. That's a mouthful. Winter Mini Digi Fest from January 19th to the 23rd, with an additional 13 shows added on the in-person event. We have another wonderful artist that's coming your way. This one, I kind of was around a little earlier and got to see a little bit, but what a fun, I'm about to say a name that really has like changed my life. It's been revolutionary. I'm just going to say that. Our next artist is Vulva Vavoom. Just let that sink in for a minute. That's such, when I heard that name, I was like, what a missed opportunity for me. I wish I would have thought of that. Vulva Vavoom is a legit musical theater triple threat gone bad. That sentence right there should just say it all. Very, very bad though. We're gonna throw not just bad, very, very bad. They went from Tampa Bay's most respected professional theaters to cutting edge underground bar cabaret, with an act that's much too filthy for upscale joints and too intellectual for dive bars. I understand that, me too. Their pieces are now relegated to experimental spaces. Their most recent piece, a rocky horrorish picture show, won Tampa's Fringe. Tampa Fringe's The Edge Award for Creativity and Innovation. Vulva's material is billed as Carol Burnett sodomizing, that is a hard word to say. I'm going to take a minute. Let me take a breath and say this word again. Carol Burnett, that is a tongue twister. Carol Burnett sodomizing Oscar Wilde with a rolled up copy of the New Yorker. And if that wasn't a tongue twister enough, give it up for Vulva Vavoom.
So much for having me, Orlando Fringe. I come to see your shows every year. I am over here in beautiful Tampa, more specifically in historic Ybor City, Florida, which is where we host the Tampa International Fringe Festival. It is not our 30th year. We're coming into our 5th year. We're much smaller, but we consider Orlando Fringe part of our Fringe family, and of course we all carpool over and see your wonderful shows. Some of them I see twice. Let me just show you a little bit of branding. Hopefully, if I get in the lottery one of these days, you'll see me in a Rocky Horrorish Patter show. That is, if I get in Orlando. So let me tell you a little bit about myself. My name is Vulva Vavoom. My pronouns are they and them. I am a self-aware drag character, as the person who plays me during the day is generally bopping around in a collared shirt and sometimes a tie. I am what's called bigender. For various reasons, I chose not to go on HRT. Some people like to gatekeep about that, but I do consider myself trans and part of the non-binary family. So thank you so much for this opportunity for representation. I would like to let everybody know that later on in my segment, we are going to do a little bit that I call the Scripty Spelling Bee. It is exactly what it sounds like. It is where you lovely people drop some spelling words in the chat. You can make them hard. I like to make them hard. They could be high school level, they could be college level. Drop me your spelling words. You can drop them right now. Go ahead, look them up on your phone. There is a lag in the chat, so it'll take us a minute or so, and my technician will read me the spelling words, and I will have to spell them, and when I get them wrong, I take things off. And if for some reason no one's participating or there's too much of a lag, we'll just jump to the final song. Speaking of songs, the first one I'm going to do for you is about my love of alcohol. So I'll give you a quick little tour. This is the most important room of my home. This is the liquor cabinet. And these are my liquor friends. They keep me company when we're in quarantine and I don't get to be around my bar audiences. So I'm going to sing you a little song about my relationship with my liquor friends. Tried to make me go to rehab, well I said no, no, no. Yes, I've been black when I come back, no, no, no. I ain't got the time, and if my daddy thinks I'm fine, just try to make me go to rehab, well I won't go, go, go. I'd rather be at home with Ray. I got 70 days, 'cause nothing you can teach me that I can't learn from Mr. Hathaway. I didn't get a lot in class, but no, it don't come in a shot glass. Yes, I've been black when I come back. I ain't got the time, and if my daddy thinks I'm fine, just try to make me go to rehab, well I won't go, go, go. The man said, why do you think you're here? I said, I have no idea. I'm gonna lose my baby. So I always keep a bottle here. You said I just think you're depressed. Yeah, me. got the time. And if my daddy thinks I'm fine, I didn't go to rehab. I won't go. Thank you very much. Ooh, can we get the level down on that next one, please? Do we have any spelling words dropped in the chat?
Yes, we have a few.
Oh, thank you. All right, well, let's not start just yet because I'm sure that people at home are just still wildly applauding. I have no idea. I can't see them. I can't hear them. I have no idea what's going on. In fact, we don't even know what I'm wearing. I could be wearing bunny slippers right now. You would have no idea because of the disconnection here, but I really appreciate Fringe giving us this platform and this opportunity to connect as much as we are able. So if you will just keep an eye on the time for me, let's throw a couple of spelling words at me and we'll see how we do.
All right, let's start with an easier one. Handkerchief.
Oh, come on, handkerchief. Okay, handkerchief. Hankerchief. Handkerchief.
Correct.
Good one.
All right.
Next, still closed. Got the clothes on.
This one is more difficult. I don't even know how to pronounce this one.
Do this. You're a technician.
Defenestration?
Defenestration, to throw someone out the window. Defenestration. D-E-F-E-N-E-S-T-R-A-T-I-T-I-O-N?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, man. Okay. Yes, that is a political maneuver when you disagree with someone who's out the window. So still with the clothes on. All right, let's do a couple more. See if I can lose this top. Are you watching the time? I'm not watching the time.
Couple minutes. Lieutenant.
Lieutenant. L-I-E-U-T-A-N-A-N-T.
Wrong.
Oh, no. Okay. I was close with the L-I-E-U-T, right?
Yes.
Okay. Next.
Sacrilegious.
Sacrilegious. That's a good one for me. S-A-C-R. Oh, this is where it's reversed. S-A-C-R-I-L-E-G-I-O-U-S. It reverses, doesn't it?
Correct.
The I and the E switch. Like in German.
Another one that is appropriate for you that just came in. Mischievous.
Mischievous. M-I-S-C-H-I-E-V-I-O-U-S. Wrong. Alright. I think we should probably cut to the chase. Do they want to see boobs? Do they not? Do we have time? Or do we have a song?
You have another song.
I guess we'll find out. Alright. Boobies! Can you get the level down just a little bit, please?
Ready?
Yep. Oh my God, Becky! Would you look at her butt? It is so big. I like big butts and I cannot lie. You other brothers can't deny that when a girl walks in with an itty bitty waist and a round thing in your face, you get sprung. You wanna pull up tough cause you noticed that butt was stuffed. My homeboys tried to warn me, but that butt you've got makes me so horny. Cause I'm long and I'm strong, and I'm down to get the friction on. So fellas, do it at home. Yeah, fella, I hear you. Has your girlfriend got butt? Tell her to shake it, shake it, shake that healthy butt. Baby got back. I can't actually hear you. It's a romper room. Baby got back. There's a cat. Baby got back. Baby got back. Now, this is the part where ordinarily I'd be doing a beautiful and balletic and very well choreographed dance routine. But that would involve moving the video camera, and I don't think that anybody wants that, so I'm just going to shake my butt. LA face with Oakland booty. LA face with Oakland booty. Oh, double up. LA face with Oakland booty. Okay, participate at home. Ladies, if you want to roll in my Mercedes, did you do it? Then turn around, stick it out. Even white boys gotta shout. Baby got back. Baby got back. Thank you. Thank you so much, Orlando Fringe, for having me. I appreciate everyone who's here tonight.
Give it up for Vulva Vavoom. That was so much fun. I'm glad this is not a spelling bee though, because I would be here completely naked in front of you all, and that is not a sight that I want to see tonight. That's not a sight that I think any of you all need to see tonight. So blessed be kitty girl that this is not a spelling bee for me, because I would be packing the bags and hitting the house, if you know what I mean. Next, I want to talk about the IDA committee. That stands for Inclusion, Diversity, and Accessibility. The IDA committee is a wonderful committee with the Orlando Fringe. It was formed in June 2020. It meets every third Thursday of every month on Zoom. So you don't have to worry about, just like Vulva said, you can wear your bunny slippers and help Fringe provide some inclusion, diversity, and accessibility things to our Fringe. If you're interested in joining this committee, email jordan@orlandofringe.org. As you see, it's on the screen, so I don't even have to spell it. Again, thank you for taking the spelling out of this for me, because again, I would be packing it up. In elementary school, spelling was not my thing. Neither was math, science, reading, social studies, or anything else. But I loved lunch. That was my favorite topic of the day. I also want to bring back my friend Nicole. Nicole is going to come back in and share a little information with all of us.
Wow, wow, wow. That was absolutely incredible. You all did amazing. And I was over here cheering you on. I know you couldn't hear me, but I think my neighbors could. So thank you so much for that amazing performance. So I just want to talk a little bit about if you all are interested in getting involved in any type of way. So first and foremost, I am the Director of Transgender Equality for Equality Florida. So if you're interested in volunteering with us, you can go to eqfl.org. And when you go to take action, there is a volunteer page and you're able to go there and sign up to volunteer. I also want to highlight the amazing Zebra Coalition, who focuses on LGBTQ+ youth here in Central Florida. So if you're interested, you can go to zebracoalition.org to get more information on how to participate and volunteer with them as well. And last but not least, the Center Orlando, I'm a board member as well, and the center has grown so much. There are so many support groups for anything that you can imagine. So if you go to thecenter.org and you're able to go and see what kind of groups they have, there's always some type of amazing events going on. So please make sure you go there and check that out as well. So last but not least, I want to say, once again, you all were absolutely incredible. And the Orlando Trans Collective, it is our honor to cover the application fees for all three of these amazing artists. So, you know, you all are doing amazing. You all are changing lives, and entertainment is so, so important. And your genuine beautifulness was just gleaming through. And we're so, so proud to sponsor you all. So thank you all so much.
Oh, that was beautiful, Nicole. Thank you all, you know, for really seeing the talent in these artists and wanting to kind of take a little fee off from them. I know as someone who's worked in, who's done a Fringe thing here or two, you know, those fees can add up and that gets expensive. So just thank you for taking care of that. I want to open the floor now up for any questions that we may have for our artists. I want to bring back all of our artists who have participated with us if they are able to. And I want to open up this time for our audience to ask a few questions. Remember, we're going to try to get through this as quick as possible, so we might not get every question that is asked, but we are here to have a little talk back, answer a few questions, and kind of chit chat with the audience. So while some questions are coming in, I can hear myself, and that is crazy. That's what I sound like. Y'all told someone said I sounded good. Y'all lied to me. But so before we start, before any questions flood in, I had a thought. earlier while I was rinsing off, putting this spackle on my face. My question is that I want to kind of throw to Nicole, as well as our two artists that are here, Vulva and Contra. Why do you think visibility is so important for trans, non-binary, and gender non-conforming artists? And we can start with whoever wants to give me a thumbs up first. Nicole, go ahead. Why is visibility so important for these artists?
Visibility is important because, you know, I'll take it back to when I was younger. When I was younger, I didn't really see trans folks that looked like me, especially in movies and TV, on the news. If there was ever anything, it was something kind of in a negative context, you know? So now we see, you know, trans individuals in all facets of society, and especially entertainment. And what you all are doing is showing young kids that they can grow up and do whatever that they want to do, that there's not limitations to, just because we're trans and non-binary doesn't mean that we can't be artists, doesn't mean that we can't entertain folks. And a lot of people believe that there's only one type of entertainment that trans and non-binary folks do, and that's drag. And while drag is incredible and such an amazing art form, there's so many other ways and so many other outlets. So what you all are doing is showing, you know, the young generation that's coming up that you can do anything. So visibility is so important, just to show folks that at the end of the day, whatever your dreams are, you can achieve them.
Absolutely. I totally 100% I'm going to back you on that. Visibility is so important. Like you said, I never saw anyone that looked like this on my television screen. I never knew that I could look like this until very recently. You know, for so long, I kind of stifled it in and kept it in, and only kind of, you know, Nicole touched on drag. You know, that was kind of my outlet to kind of express what my gender was. So yeah, visibility is so important, just so these younger kids can see that. Vulva or Contra, would you like to throw an answer to that? Why do you think it is visibility is so important? Vulva, we'll go ahead with you.
Sure, thank you so much. Yeah, to build on what was said earlier, so for me, growing up in the country in the 90s, it was just myself and one other person in our entire high school who were visibly queer. This was during the time of Matthew Shepard, and it was terrifying. And and as also was mentioned, the only representation that I saw was very marginalized sex workers in pop culture. There was no representation of FTM trans men at all that I could see. So I talk about this in one of my pieces, which is, you know, being able to go to the Rocky Horror Show and see not gender nonconformity and you know, non-mainstream sexuality made me feel like I'm not a freak. I'm not going to hell. I have a voice. So I hope that we as artists today have the opportunity to show young people it can go even farther than that. It's not just that we all exist and that we all have a voice. It's now we're making space for everyone to find their own identity, which may be something very subtle that people might not necessarily understand, have to make an effort to understand. So I'm very grateful for Fringe spaces that are very inclusive, that let us step up, and hopefully young people will see that no matter who you are and how you identify, there's a place for you.
Absolutely, absolutely. Love that answer. Contra, would you like a chance to answer, or I can throw it to another question?
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Oh, I loved those answers that you both gave already. But I'll just add, I think it's so important to be visible, not just to people who may be exploring their identities and not really know who they are until they can take that journey and see that other options exist, but also for people who maybe haven't explored options and who feel comfortable in their identities but haven't seen people who have varying identities. So I think it's a really important way to build empathy in people who might not even think there's anything beyond a gender binary, who were raised and taught that there are only men and women and you're either one of them. It like shows them that there are other kinds of people in the world, and we're people just like everyone else. And so I think it not only helps people who may be exploring their identities, but those who maybe aren't and can build more of that empathy.
Absolutely. I loved all of those answers. We do have one question from the audience. Contra and Vulva, where can we see you perform live next? I will start with vulva just because it has been my favorite word to say all night. Like, just let me say, it has tickled me pink, pun intended, to say vulva all night. So vulva, where can we see you live next?
Oh, thank you so much for asking. So with the pandemic, I've really dropped back from appearances for the most part. It really depends on which Fringe festival next draws me in their lotteries. So fingers crossed, hopefully Orlando. I usually get lucky in Tampa, which is around the same time, a little bit before or after y'all. So thank you so much for asking. Oh, and my piece again is called A Rocky Horish Patter Show. And it's about finding acceptance.
Did I pronounce it wrong earlier? If I am, again, they can fire me. It's.
I think it's just the muscle memory of the show.
That's exactly what it was. I will say your bio was such a tongue twister to me, but I loved all day long. I have been reading it and just cracking out loud. It just thrilled me. So it's wonderful to get to see you. Contra, where can we see you next live?
Yes, so this is actually my first time debuting with the Fringe. I'm usually in the audience, so I like to go see shows all the time. So I will be at the Fringe Winter Mini Fest seeing some shows, and I'm also working on a few more parody music videos I've got in the works. So no live performances, but I'm still working on my music videos, and you're bound to see me at any of the Orlando Fringe festivals because I go every year. Yeah.
That is awesome. That is awesome. Well, I hope that we are able to see you both, or I am able to see you both, as well as our audience very soon, because I loved both of your pieces tonight. It is, trust me, I was part of this second Fringe Friday last year, and it was a great time. But this year, these pieces are like, I've literally, like I said, I've been bopping in my chair. I've been cracking up over here. So thank you both for being here and sharing those. Nicole, I think there's a question for us that I see popped up. Nicole in Salvation, how did you find your voice as a leader in our community? Would you like to go first?
Sure. So for me, I'll be very honest, it was after the Pulse nightclub tragedy. Pulse was a safe space for me as a Black trans woman. There wasn't many places that I could go that I felt comfortable, and Pulse was one of those places. And after the tragedy, my very first introduction to the nonprofit sector was the Contigo Fund. And the Contigo Fund has since given $2 million to the local LGBTQ plus community, focusing on grassroots organizations and really uplifting them. And Pulse uncovered a lot of gaps. And one of those gaps were that there wasn't a lot of representation around boards and committees in the nonprofit sector. It was typically cisgender white gay men that were advocating for everybody. So the one thing that the amazing Marco Quiroga and Felipe taught me was to bring up a chair to the table, and if they weren't going to give me a seat, I brought up a seat. And, it's just so beautiful to see since then. There's so many initiatives, especially trans initiatives here in town, and LGBTQ folks of color who have been uplifted to start their own organizations and start their own initiatives. So really, I found my voice after something so tragic. And I just decided, I was like, listen, I don't see many folks like me speaking up and advocating. So that's what kind of got me to do it.
Absolutely. That last part you said was what I was saying in my head the whole time. There was never anyone that looked like me. So if, as Gandhi said, be the change you want to see in the world. And that's kind of where I kind of I shudder from the word leader. I still think I'm learning. I still think I'm growing. So while people have called me leader, I will defer that topic to other people such as Nicole for the moment while I am still learning and growing. But I think for me, where kind of my leadership and my advocacy for our community came from was just a lived experience. I as Vulva said, I was the child that grew up in the country. I had an immigrant parent. I grew up in northern Florida on a farm, and I never saw anyone that looked like me. There was no one on TV that looked like me. The first experience I had with a queer person on TV was Queer as Folk, Noah's Ark, and RuPaul's Drag Race. I mean, those were the queer people I saw on television. So that can probably explains a little bit right now to TBH. But you know, I never saw anyone, and my escape was college. I got out of that little podunk town, and went to college because I knew that was my escape. And my first 2 years of college, I spent living in my car. So I have had a lived experience that kind of gave me a vision that a lot of people don't see. A lot of people kind of say, "Oh, I've learned this. You know, I read books about being an advocate. I've learned this in my studies and kind of in an academic setting, but I lived it." So I was seeing trans, non-binary, gender non-conforming people, you know, living on the streets. I was, you know, thankful to be raised. I tell people every day, I was raised by a strong group of Black and brown trans women that kind of showed me what being a queer person was. That was like, this is what you are. This is what you need to be. Don't let people, you don't need to be whatever you want to be. Put on your makeup, do whatever you need to do, go hit the town. So I think that's where my kind of advocacy and leadership came from. Like I said, it was from a lived experience and just not really having any other outlet, I guess. It was kind of just thrust upon me. And I said, you know, I'm gonna, for all those little people that have beards and want to throw on makeup, I'm gonna be there for you and show you that you could be stunning too. When your eyes aren't watering, you could be stunning. Do we have any more questions from the audience? I'm not seeing any. It is about 8 o'clock. So I will say, I'll throw one more quick question at you all. And we can go through this really quick. What do you think is a quality that makes a good advocate? You know, we were just talking about, Nicole and I, our advocacy and our leadership. What do you think is a quality that makes a good advocate for our community, the trans and gender nonconforming and non-binary community? And I will throw it to Volva. Would you like to go first?
Sure, thank you. I also want to preface this with the fact that this is the most well-behaved I have been while inhabiting this persona, literally ever. So it's kind of hard to get in the correct headspace. I would say that the most important quality for advocacy is just that sense of not necessarily doing it for oneself, but doing it for others. Because a lot of us, big surprise, have major trauma backgrounds because being gender non-conforming in and of itself in a binary world is traumatic for children, even if they're in a very welcoming and hospitable environment. So I may be projecting, but from what I've observed, it's some of us don't advocate very well for ourselves. And so there's this sense of advocating for others, caring about others, caring about those who may not necessarily have as much privilege as we do. Folks who, you know, maybe would like to, you know, quote unquote, pass a little bit more effectively or things like that. Like I recognize some of us have a lot of privilege and it's our responsibility to advocate for those who do not.
Absolutely, I agree. Nicole, would you like to go next?
Yeah, I think, you know, authenticity, living out loud. There is nothing like someone who is unapologetically them. And that, to me, is what creates a leader. So, Salvation, when you were saying you don't identify as a leader, my love, you are a leader. If nobody's told you, trust me, you are. And it's living authentically. It's living unapologetically, because that's what gets people's attention. Most of the time, they're like, there's an energy that comes from folks that are unapologetic. And a lot of people wish they had that. A lot of people fall into this dynamic of, I have to do what's socially acceptable. And what all of us did is color outside of the lines. We broke that barrier. So I think that is one of the best and most important qualities in a leader.
I agree. I'm going to second that. Thank you. Thank you for that little confidence boost. You know, now this is actually a tier and not just the heat. Thank you for that, Nicole. I appreciate it. Yeah, I'm going to second kind of what Nicole said. It's authenticity. I would say, you know, as I'm thinking about my own question that I threw out there, authenticity, but even go deeper than that. To authentically be you and be able to address when things aren't right. We say be authentically yourself. Right? I can be authentically myself, but that doesn't mean if I walk down the street, I might be authentically myself, bebopping around looking just sickening. But then I see a trans brother or sister on the corner and I see them, you know, getting harassed by a group of people and I just keep it bopping. you have to see something, say something. There are things around you that may not feel right. They may not seem like they're okay. There are some things that may be they may hurt. There may be some relationships that you have to break, to be an advocate and to stand up not only for yourself, but your community as well. It's learning how to, I guess, the overall, what I'm getting at is learning how to kind of be the bad beep in the room sometimes. I tell people all the time, the reason I have never ran for political office is I don't know what decorum is. I watch CNN a lot, and I see these people, these senators, and I'm like, that couldn't be me. I'd be screaming. No. I would act a fool. They couldn't have me. Contra, I'm going to throw the question to you. What do you think would make, what is a quality of a good advocate for the transgender, gender non-conforming, and non-binary community?
Yeah, I mean, those answers, I don't know how I can follow up. Those are amazing. But so many things. I think, honestly, the biggest thing is passion. And I see this in both advocacy for trans lives and also in other forms of advocacy. For example, my climate activism that I get into. And I think passion is so important because sometimes we feel like we need to know it all. We need to have everything figured out. We need to have all of those terminology. We need to know all the definitions, but you don't need to know everything. You just need to be passionate about it and care, and people will see that passion and see that love and feel the energy, and their hearts will be changed, even if their minds are a little harder to get to. It's the hearts that you want to change. So I think that that passion is the most important thing in advocating for everyone to be accepted and loved and included.
Agreed. You got to have that passion. Sometimes that passion can help with that burnout. Because I will say, as an advocate and a leader, sometimes you get that burnout, but that passion can always kind of reignite that fire. So I agree. Thank you for saying that. Well, we are going to go ahead and wrap up our evening. I want to give a special thank you to Nicole, Vulva, Contra, and Kenny for being here for this little talk back, this little Q&A that we had with our audience. I want to thank everyone who has been watching. Before we go, I do want to say that next month's first Fringe Friday, another tongue twister, will take place right here in my guest room. That's what it says on the cards, on December 3rd at 7:00 p.m. And you can apply to be a part of that by going to www.orlandofringe.org/artists. I want to thank everyone for being here tonight. I want to thank Kenny for his interpreting services. I want to thank Nicole, Billie Jane Alberton, Contrafactor, and Vulva. I also want to give a special shout out to Brian and Tempest, who are helping us run things, and a special shout out to Lindsay, who kind of helped man and put all this together. Have a wonderful night, everyone, and we will see you all on December 3rd. And until then, I'm just going to sit here and slowly rock down.